Hi, my name is Rob. I'm 48 years old. I'm half Greek, half El Salvadoran. I stand at 5'8" and a half. I have brown hair, brown eyes, and I'm HIV positive and undetectable. I tested positive in 1993. I was almost 22 years old. In the summer of 1993, I remember getting a flu that knocked me on my butt, which sent me in to get an HIV test, and the results came back positive. Most people would think that it would be the thing to have sucked the life out of me and to tumble into despair, especially back in 1993 when we didn't have the medications that we have today. But it kind of motivated something different. I wanted to live life as if each day were my last. So one of the things that I did was I bought a bike and a gym membership, and I got into fitness, and I used it to lift me out. It gave me a reason to lift myself out of despair and out of my circumstances. Shortly after I signed up for the Boston, New York AIDS ride, I wanted to raise awareness. I wanted to show that, that you could overcome your obstacles, that tomorrow's not promised for anyone, and I just wanted to live each moment. So I did the Boston, New York AIDS ride. But I was a little cocky, I didn't train, so I messed up my knees a little bit. I remember the recovery from that Boston, New York AIDS ride it took me like a week for my knees to bounce back. But I raised money and I raised awareness. Eventually, the stigma of HIV, as I started to tell people about my status, the rejection, the stigma, the way that people were around me, being that I was so young and full of life, it really started to affect me. And as I would reach out to people that I wanted to connect with, maybe some of the guys that I liked, I was never really sure how or when to disclose my status. I didn't want to come and be like, hi, my name is Rob, I'm HIV positive. Nice to meet you. But I wasn't sure exactly when was the moment to drop that. And I found in those early days that there was never really a right time, and that it didn't matter whether it was upon meeting somebody or if I wanted them to get to know me a little bit first, that ultimately the results would be the same, and people were scared, and people didn't want to watch me die. People didn't want to get infected. So it began to wear on me. And I did tumble into despair. That's when I found drugs. Crystal meth. So for the next 10, 15 years, I chased crystal meth, which allowed me to come out of anything that I was feeling. It allowed me to connect with people and engage in sexual activity without disclosing my status. And then when the drug would wear off, I was left with the guilt and the shame of having engaged in activity without disclosing. So it made me feel terrible about myself. So I would pick up again. And that's how I lived my life. God is very important in my life right now, because as a gay man, the God that I was force-fed was a punishing God, an angry God, a jealous God, a God that did not accept who I was. So I had turned my back on religion. And in doing so, I had turned my back on that God that I had been force-fed. So I was godless for all those years that I was using. But there was a time when I realized that the life that I was living it's not how I wanted to go out. And I was clear that there was nowhere left for me to go but maybe jail or some kind of institution or 6 feet under. And I didn't want to die. I didn't want to die without a legacy to leave behind. I didn't want to die. I had heard so much from people that, oh my God, you have so much potential. You have so much potential. You're so bright. You're so intelligent. You're so outgoing. You're so loving. You have so much potential. And I didn't want to die as potential that was unrealized. So in that moment of despair, I remember I was homeless. I had nothing but the clothes on my back. All the people that I knew in my inner circle were also people that were using, so I had pushed away all of the people in my life that I cared about and that cared about me and wanted to see me doing better than I was. And I didn't know what else to do but literally fall to my knees on the ground and say and ask God for help and to apologize for only coming to you when I need something, but I need something now and I need you to help me pull out of this. And that was the moment. That was the moment when life changed for me. The last time I sat in this chair, I had 10 years crystal meth free. Today, I have 61 days clean and sober from all mood and mind altering things. So I'm living life on life's terms for 61 days, just for today. I take my medication every day. I'm undetectable. I know that there is life after crystal meth. There's life after alcohol. I know that there's life after HIV. God willing, I have a long life ahead of me. Being part of this campaign, HIV Stops With Me, allows me to live my purpose. I realize that my circumstances, my struggles, are not just about me, but perhaps to help forge a path for others that are coming behind me. I'm not perfect. I'm still someone in the struggle. But maybe there's something in my story that can speak to someone, to you. Maybe there's a grain of hope in my story, in my struggle, that will shine a light on your situation and let you know that you are not alone. That may I serve as a mirror, a reflection for someone out there who may not have that glimmer of hope right now, that you can overcome, you will overcome. Don't quit before the miracle happens. And if no one told you yet today, let me be the first to say that I love you. De corazón.